Hello, all you lovely soul inspired beings. It's Gina here, Soul Inspired Reflections. Decided to come on today. It's October 27th, 2024. And I had ideas about what I'm going to talk about. But now, what seems to be the most interesting thing is I was getting logged on. I was going to be joining a sonic soul family sound kind of circle. And weird technical things were occurring. And so I'm like, gosh, maybe I'm not meant to be there today. And even texting the person, it's as if the whole text didn't even exist. And so crystalline light body. So we're going to see what these energies may represent for us. I have a sense of some things, but the cards may have a different message for us. So I've been shuffling as I'm talking the Golden Future Oracle deck by Diana Cooper. But I said the date today because I feel is important to recognize we're coming into the energies of Halloween. We're coming in the energies of the 1111 Gateway. And me, jump shifts your life. I was guided to pull one last card. Before I continue, welcome to anyone new to my channel. Those of you that have followed me for a little while know that I don't come on all the time, but when I do, I try to make it as organic as possible, support you in your ascension, your growth, in an organic way, because it's organic. It's nothing to, I find in my own experience and witnessing others as well as myself, it's easy to get into the energy of almost like a fad, right? When we get used to saying a certain name, like that's what's in right now and this and that. Oh, spirituality, ascension, twin flame energy. And people kind of just get wrapped up in the energy of this current. And they don't slow down enough to really go, wait, what does this really mean for me in my current present stage in life, in this eternal moment of now? So through my own experiences and higher guidance and guides, I share insights. Some of that means pulling oracle decks and bridging that together. And also drawing on what I'm noticing in my own life and messages and things of that nature, because nature gives us messages all the time. God's giving us messages all the time. I don't know how long this video will be, but I'm going to try to keep it short. But being that the energies felt really strange today, um, they've been feeling really wonderful for me, but at the same time, I'm recognizing others are feeling opposite energies. There's been a lot happening in the world and maybe wonderful for me because I've been doing traveling. And now that I've landed back home, I'm integrating the energies from where I was back east and the people I spent time with, friends, new friends, soul friends, right? And not getting caught up in our human identity and our soul light, right? And so it feels I'll start there. Um, Health and healing, the population, the new children, crystalline light body. Those are the cards I pulled from Diana Cooper's deck. Before we go further, let's go ahead and clear our space. I invite you to get comfortable, ground yourself, because this is for you. Anything that I say or that comes through me, I invite you to just sit with it. Whether you agree with it or not is not why I'm speaking here. Um, if you're being activated in some way, sit with that and just observe the energy and what that energy is saying to you, because it's unique to you how you're receiving how you're giving, how you're walking your awakening life, and remembering that your soul, your presence, your highest available timeline current is already running within you. We're just getting out of our own way to feel it, receive it, and just become it and be it through the body. That means in your emotions, your mental state, your physicality, the way you use your voice, and how you interact with life around you changes as you're going through this heart opening. But it's unique to you, okay? I'm just here to guide you and through what you're experiencing. And maybe what I'm experiencing can support some of you go, oh, I didn't see it that way before. Because this too is part of our multidimensionality. If we're part of the one, all come from the one light, right? There's one light. So go ahead and ground, activate your pillar of light or whatever protective practices you use in your presence, and only allow the light to come in and whatever you're meant to receive for your highest good, as we call in the spirit and angelics and Devic kingdom from the east. And we call in our guides and angelic kingdom, Devic kingdom, ascended master healers from the south. Even our galactic families that we're connected to, because it all lives within you. It all lives within us. In the south, in this time of rapid growth. Ooh, look at that. Pop, pop. And we call upon the West, our ancestors of the West. Devic kingdom, angelic realm, ascended master healers. Our ancestors, that blood that lives within us, that pumps through us, our DNA, our cellular level. And we call upon the North, abundance, earth, fire, air, water. Call upon Pachamama, Mother Earth, and her heartbeat that we are divinely connected to, that rhythm. And we call upon Father Sky, and that celestial family that we are connected to. And place your hand over your own heart. And most importantly, as you connect with yourself, your being, your presence. Calling in all aspects of yourself, wherever you've been today, wherever your thoughts have been, with each breath, bringing all pieces to yourself, here to this present moment. All pieces of your soul life to this present moment. Every timeline, every universe, every parallel universe, and known and unknown to you, be fully present here now in your body, in your spirit, in your heart. As we call on Archangel Zadkiel, the violet flame, even the violet flame dragons, those of you that work with dragons, to assist in clearing our fields and transmute any energy, lower energies that are live within us, to be transmuted, transfigured into the highest form of light for us today that match you in your presence, and bring in that purity ray and ascension ray. We're also going to bring in the platinum shield for protection. We do our protection from love and innate knowing that we are loved and always protected. Up, 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 up. Here comes Gus behind me. Let's take 3 breaths here and Om together as you connect. Om. Om. Allow that vibration to clear your pathways as you connect with the creation of life through sound, through presence. Feel that in. And take in the light of the candle representing the light within you, the light within all life, the light of oneness that we are all connected to. And you may still see some of the sage wafting in the air, clearing our space that we are weaving together in this eternal moment of now, clearing your own space emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, meaning the temple that is you of the body. So talking to sit in that energy for just a moment longer, it just feels really good. Circling back to the experience of these energies I've been feeling since really intensely since yesterday, and almost this fear, this worry, this like, oh my God, did I do something wrong? Why am I not connecting in the same way? I was just feeling the energies of those that love me, on a soul level, on a human level, different levels of friendship and relationships. And then all of a sudden, almost like someone just erased it and pulled the plug. And then I'm like, oh, there's this deeper feel of grief that has been coming to the surface, this sadness. And I was just like, wow, like, what is this? So some of you may be feeling these very contrasting energies. And to remember, everything is light. Everything is light. To let go of, continue to move into unity, consciousness, and oneness. Okay, without light, we don't have shadow. Without the shadow, we don't have light. Because if you can't see your shadow, that means the light's not coming in somewhere, right? But there's, even in the darkness, there's light because it lives within you, right? So it all is complementary. So as you come into this harmonization and synergy within your body, like synergy are components, right? If I look at the body, because I am also a body worker, we have synergistic muscles that work together to bring balance and harmony to the body. But as well as there are systems, right? Respiratory, endocrine system. It's all working together, finding harmony and balance within the body, even when things are not at its optimal um, um, optimal running speed, right? We're constantly in and out of harmony, but the body is constantly adjusting to be in and out of balance. So maybe for some of us, we're still in that energy of Libra, right? In October. I don't know about if it's still into the 27th, if it's already shifting into the next sign, but that's what comes to mind is harmony and balance. So where are you within the harmony and balance within yourself, within your crystal body, because you're becoming more light, more this plasmic light. But before we go into that piece a little bit more, exhale love. Inhale love, and in the exhale, you're projecting it out through the core centers of your body. So imagine you're bringing all the energy up from the Mother Earth, down from Father Sky, even go into the grand energies, like great grandparents, right? That I call them the Gigi's, right? Same with the grand Mother Earth, right? This golden light, and bring it all in together while it meets in your center and meets in your heart. Bring that all in as well into the 0 point field. And there's many 0 point fields. And then project out love, light, and anything that is not in resonance with your presence and higher frequency is dissolved by the love and light that you are. And that gets pushed out through the breath. Pushed out through the breath into the quantum. And all those who wish to receive love and transmutation and transfiguration and support through your divine love and light, through their I am presence, let their presence decide what to receive, just as your presence decides what to give. And you too receive this love and light. And let's breathe that in together. So we breathe that in together. Coming back into the energies. And then those of you that work with Merkaba energy know how to work with your crystalline body. This is also what we're just doing right now, right? These are two souls and divinely connecting, and you'll notice the halos around their head. But there's also the lotus is opening up. So your lotus is opening up more and more up through the third eye and crown center, because all these chakra centers, energetic centers work together. And it's really all one center that's laid within the body as a spectrum of energy and holds levels of consciousness. Your body holds consciousness. So those of you that are experiencing these things, do that work of you can clear, you can bring in with the Merkaba. Okay. Through love. It's there. Look how much light is in the portal of their chest. Right? Everything. They're part of the landscape. You are part of the landscape. You're not separate from any of it. You're part of this wave of energy. These waves of sound and vibration and frequency and frequency and frequency and frequency, oscillating faster and faster and faster. And how do you calibrate that? It is through the breath. It is through the breath and bringing that into the still point, the 0 point field within your body. That is the center of all union. Your personal field, your personal 0 point field, as well as the one that exists in the universe that you are a part of. Okay. And there's many 0 points because you are infinite. There's there's infinite universes that we either are known to us or unknown. But stepping further into your light assists in keeping you grounded, focused, and discerning of the energies that are felt through all these waves. Your light body, your physicality is your light body. It's just a denser form, which we're lightening up, feels everything. Pay attention to your thoughts, right? So as I was expressing earlier, my thoughts went into this place of worry. Like, what did I do? It's like I had such a good time and all these things that are not even true. And there's sometimes what happens because what's happening now, more and more soul families, you can even there, I call it complementary energies, moving away from the twin flame energy or that term twin flame, because we can have multiple collaborative energies that we work together and collaborate with each other. So as souls are elevating, they light up, they light each other up. So it's also important for you to breathe and recognize, okay, you're seeing that light in someone. They're seeing that light in you. You're collaborating for specific things on a soul level where everyone shows up at their perfect divine time, especially if you go to peace gatherings and things like that. It's like the energy that happens in those places. And sometimes you develop relationships outside of that, right? Where the soul families start to connect, where I have a group where we talk once a week. And not everyone makes it. It's just kind of we check in. We don't go into depths of much. We just kind of check in with each other. How are you doing? How, things like that. And then I had some few friends I got to see over the last week while I was in a workshop. And we just light up for each other. And even the people in the workshop, we light up for each other. And you can tell, like, we're still going through our human stuff, but it's the human stuff not getting in the way when you're operating in an elevated state of being. You're connecting through the root, through your own roots deep down into the earth, right? So those of you that join me for a workshop I have coming up on the 12D shielding and your pillar of light, you connect into the heart of the earth, your grounding cord, and you bring that energy up through your earth star chakra, right? And there's so much more to that because you're also grounding it into the celestials, but your own energy, your own pillar of light, your own light body stays sovereign. Even though they're connected, they're sovereign in their state of being. So as you're meeting more soul family, more people to collaborate with, for some of us, it's easy for our mind to go into this place of, oh, is it a romantic thing? Is there an attraction here? Is this? Go back into your heart and your presence and go, oh yeah, we are creating. Because when you're in harmony with your higher self, you're working with creation energy. You're working with creation energy, both the masculine and feminine principle that lives within you, creation energy. And what is that? How does that relate to the, I'll say, funky energies I was feeling and going down this little spiral today? Because we can, just as much as we can create love and joy and light and new earth and higher perspective, um, we can also create the other. That's how powerful our imagination is, our thoughts. This brings me back to the seven create, the Elohim brings us, because it's creation energy that lives within you, the seven activities of creation. Um, and I'm pulling that up so I can repeat it. Sometimes I forget things. And it's on my Instagram. It's pinned on my Instagram. It's Elohim, creators of form, which you are a creator of form. Um, pulling cosmic light. I think of someone like at a weaving thread, right? So your threads of light, cosmic light into form, right? Because you create in the etheric and then you bring it down into the physical form and you take steps. So one is the purity of holding the divine pattern. So this, as you work with your light body, you are learning and remembering how to hold the purity of your divine pattern of your body, of your being, of the light that is coming through you, right? What if you just observed it and literally your body is the vessel to hold the light? Your body is the vessel to hold consciousness. Just allow it to be in its purest state. There's nothing for you to do with it other than allow it to come through and hold it in its purest state, its purest pattern. Okay? And then you're going to externalize that thought form with focus, concentration, consistency, rhythm, and hold it with peace. Hold peace and abide by the wisdom of the law, the wisdom of universal laws. So as you are mastering your being in your light body, you're as a vessel, as a temple of light, it holds the divine pattern within it. You're also simultaneously surrendering to the limitations of the other thoughts, of doubt, of fear, of grief, of all these other things, of like, what did I do wrong? Like nothing. You're feeling the energies that are in this really interesting window as Halloween and Day of the Dead and Shaw Wednesday. Forgive me if I misspeak. It's a Gaelic, I believe, or Celtic festival that occurs this time of year. That veil of between spirit of the spirit and those that and the veil gets really thin. And in the US, we're here also coming into an election, and then the 11/11 portal. Gateways are opening. Gateways are opening. Okay. Where do you want to go? What timeline, what gateway are you stepping into? You have choice here on what you do with your higher guidance and presence, and like where your heart is calling you to step forward into the light even more. So you can this term, I was singing this song the other day, I was making up, I'm like, I gotta touch down to lift off. I'm touching down to lift off because a friend of mine who I had the pleasure, we both had a small window between traveling, um, that we got to have dinner, and then we're both on different plane flights and our own timeline of the commitments we've had. And I had said to her, "Oh, I hope you enjoyed the celebration you were at." And she was like, "Oh yeah, just touch down in SFO to go to the next one, right?" And I started thinking, "Oh yeah, you got to touch down to lift off, touch down to lift off." And then I heard another speaker that I was listening to this morning talking about, "Oh yeah, you're going to touch down." And same thing to lift off. And I thought, oh, yes, that is what we're doing. We're touching down to take flight. We're touching down to take flight and spread your wings. So some of you out there right now are ready and beginning to take the next level steps, jump shift your life. Okay. Those next level steps. Tune into the crystals is what that's saying. But you're touching down to take flight. Okay. With that is recognizing when to say yes and no to opportunities. And again, there's no wrong or right choice because you're going to get something from every choice you make. You've already have. That's what's gotten you to this point. Okay. So as a population with this card, population, and we'll come back to the other one in a minute. It says seize your opportunities. So when something's presented to you and you've worked with that, your intuition enough to go, it's a yes and no or maybe, start saying yes to the opportunities. A friend of mine reminded me, she's like, hey, you need to say yes and be open to these experiences because otherwise you're limiting, you're bringing in the other energy that interferes with the flow and the current. Okay. Because it is an electrical current that runs through you of light, of energy. And many of us have worked very hard to get to a place to be in flow, move out of contraction and into fluidity, letting go of any attachment to anything. And I feel some of what I've been experiencing in my personal day and a half is like, oh, you know what? I'm letting go of all these experiences in the hopes that come with them. Not the dreams, not the visions, but any expectations, any assumptions, anything that I feel is owed to me in any way, even if totally unaware of that energy being there, is to just fully let go and to be totally present. Because when you fully let go, you start to soar even more and go, where is this current taking me? And step forward into it even more and even more and even more. As this card says, jump shift your life. So many of you are at this opportunity of taking another leap, and it may be multiple leaps. It may be a quantum leap. Okay, so that brings me also into a sense of, some of you may have been feeling like time jumps, right? I was gone for 10 days and it felt like 2 months. And I know where I was at in the Hudson Valley, and I only had a sprinkle amount of time of actually connecting with the land physically because I was at a workshop studying. And I'm like, wow, there's portals here. I'm going in and out of shops and recognizing I'm like, I am being transported somewhere else, and going into some shops, not others, where I was just really recognizing, oh, that my spidey senses are like, nope, not here. Don't eat here. Don't buy stuff from here. Don't touch anything in this store. Other stores were totally welcoming and giving. It's like, yes, yes, yes. And it just felt like I'd been there before. And so when you have those feelings too, on some level, you have walked that land before. And I was reminded of that with a friend of mine who connected with me. We weren't able to see each other in person, but we spent time on the phone because we were both, like, as she put it, she could send a messenger by bird to me. That's how close we were. And it's an opportunity for you now, those of you that are recognizing the time is now. The time is now for you to take that next jump shift your life, as it's put, to take the leap and trust that you were fully, fully protected and fully, fully cared for. And the opportunities will continue to unfold and unfold and unfold. And as we have this other beautiful card, but before I get to it, unfold and unfold, to be all you can be in this present moment. The new children, right? Even as the new children are coming in, but that also includes you, because you are a new body, a new being, as we are preparing to go through the threshold of 2025. So much opportunity as you walk through that gateway of a new year. Begin to see yourself as one of those new children, not just the actual children being conceived and born at this time, and also those that are like in the tween ages, I'll say. You know, you are part of that. And those of you that are parents, recognizing all this work that you've been doing is supporting your children, supporting our children, so we can guide them, and as they guide us as well, to remember to be in our light, and that have a totally different relationship with the way you interpret energy and experiences, because you're coming from your presence now, your higher self. Many of us are on different levels of that integration of ourself, and that's okay. Just be the best you can be right now. Be the best you can be right now. And that's all you can do. That's all any of us can do. But that's not to say to dismiss the other energies that you're feeling. The funky energies, even off people. It comes back to this too. As souls, family are coming together, sometimes the energy is really beautiful and great as you're doing the work, right? And then as you see their human identity and how they walk through their human life, because it's merging, and sometimes it can get a little muddied up. You have the ability to create healthier boundaries for yourself. Like, how much of yourself do you give into your personal life, or how much do you just keep close to your own heart? right? Because you're also learning who they are in this life, right? It's because we're having so many multi-dimensionalities of ourselves merging into one. Um, it's simple and complex all at the same time, right? So when I was having dinner with a friend of mine, and it's a new friend, yet it's an old soul friend. So there's the light there where it's just like, yeah, and we got to talk about some of the experiences, but as well as like, I remember sitting down, I'm like, hey, I know I don't really know you. What do you like? Do you like dessert? Do you like this and that? Right. And so we're sharing little things of our own, like in this body, in this human experience of our likes and dislikes, our experiences, right? So allow yourself the space to get to know that person because your soul may light up for them, but it doesn't, it comes, we're circling back here toward the beginning. It doesn't mean, it's easy to misconstrue that energy, that magnetic energy, to be romantic in really in its nature. And I know my experience, none of that sexual charge energy was really there. The magnetic energy and drawn in and that creation energy, absolutely there, which that's sacral energy. But when it's an elevated creative energy, it starts from the core of the earth because that's where your information you plug into for your Christ consciousness, your Christos Sophia energy, your masculine divine, your divine presence plugs in there into the earth's core, into the crystal. Tune in to the crystals. That is a 12-dimensional hub, crystal core hub, directly related to the Merkaba symbol, which holds much information in it, but it's a light code which works with the balance of your gender principles, the universal law of gender, masculine, feminine principles. So connect through the breath, through the still point, like we did in the beginning of this journey together we had today. You're connecting celestially to your I am presence. Yeah, cosmic heart, as well as the cosmic heart of the earth, to your I am presence, and allowing that current to lock in and come into your body fully through the breath, through the still point, through the oneness of all life, the divine union, all union through the still point within you. Okay. Health and healing card is to tune in to your divine blueprint. And that is exactly what we just segued into, because within that core, crystal core, is your divine blueprint. Your divine blueprint. And what do we have here? Yeah, look at that image. Two bodies, a third, a fourth in the center, and an access point. Because that's exactly what we're doing, is we're harmonizing the access point, our vertical and horizontal planes. As you connect more and more to allowing and breathing in the divine blueprint that is you, the healing and health within your body is exponential. Like you can call forth the healing of your bodies, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, throughout all time, in this eternal moment of now, in the still point, and you heal on a quantum level. Anything attached, anything, person, place, or thing, so even ancestral healing, land, all of it, any timeline, any parallel universe, and you're calling that in this eternal moment of now, anything attached to that vibration that you just healed and alchemized gets healed and released into its highest form of light. And you get to keep the wisdom of that. You're releasing any karmic ties of any kind anymore. because you no longer need to suffer. So when you learn to be an alchemist, there's no more suffering. There's only weaving light. You can choose to stay in suffering if you'd like, but I know for myself that does not feel good anymore, nor do I care to do it. It damages your cells. You literally program your cells and damage them. But as you are coming into your divine blueprint again and again and again, as you tune into it, as this says, it is a tuning. It is a tuning like the radio. You are literally changing bandwidths. As people were like, jump on this timeline, you are turning the dial to your higher self and above. Some of you may actually hear crackling, clicking in your head, in your ears while you're sleeping, and as that dial's being turned. I remember being woken up a few months ago and I heard it's a and it sounded so loud. And then I was talking to a friend of mine who is farther ahead in her process. And she's like, oh, she's like, it's like, think of a dial turning and you hear the static crackling. And that's what I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what happened. But I also felt as if the third eye got tuned to a specific dial so more information can come through that is pure, unfiltered, no longer interfered with by the old programming of belief systems, as people refer to the old matrix, the 3D matrix, that lower vibrational that keeps you captive, that keeps you in fear, that keeps you controlled, right? That's the only thing that really limits us and keeps us away from our own liberation, because then you're not in your heart. The more you are in your heart, you become fully liberated. It doesn't matter what the earth's construct is. It doesn't matter what laws are in place, because you're liberated from the inside out. You're ascending from the inside out. So your world will begin to reflect that, and you're going to magnetize to you exactly what you need, because you're staying in the purity of your divinity. Staying in the purity of your divinity each day. Trusting fully as your heart is your compass. Your heart is your guide. Your presence is your guide. Go to your presence. Call in your higher guidance. Because we've been everything and are everything. The universe lives within you, and you live in the universe. So as you purify and come into a new relationship with yourself, you're going to begin to recognize, even as you're talking to an Arcturian, if those of you that go more into the galactic realm, that's you. It is you. You're talking to your Arcturian self, your Arcturian family, your galactic roots, energetically coming in to the vessel that is you. That consciousness is waking up within you in order to access that information. So that means you're able to hold this light with more purity, with more grace, with more integrity each day, more humbleness each day. And also to recognize other things that are continuing to stay in a lower vibrational state. And that's okay. Let it be. There's nothing for you to do with it other than just be in the alchemy that is you and light. Because when you are turned on and fully engaged in your 5-dimensional or 12D self, your higher self, that level of consciousness and your presence, connecting that from the celestial plane through your body and into the heart of the earth, you are reconnecting your toroidal field. So it moves in through you. You've seen a lot of people depict it like a donut, but it moves in through you. Then it moves in through the earth and the universe. So you're one toroidal field within a toroidal field within a toroidal field. That's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy. So as you're in even all your history, everything that wants to come in through you, and come back into you because you're whole. It's a lot of energy. So just call it in to match you in this perfect time and moment, and be all you can be right now. Breathe and take different even take opportunities for yourself. If the opportunity could even be to rest, right? Seize the opportunity to rest. Seize the opportunity to be in action. Seize the opportunity to be in stillness. Seize the opportunity for business, new collaborations, and then just let go of the expectation. Don't force it, right? Like I was trying to reach my friend who's hosting something right now, and clearly we are meant to be doing our own thing today. And I'm like, well, I'm doing this right now instead. And then I thought, oh my gosh, we're both weaving light through our own offering to support others, right? And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. But I didn't force it, right? Even the technology piece was really interesting. Could have swore I sent a text. I know I hit send, and then I looked down, it's like I never sent it. Like it got totally deleted. So I'm like, I'll just go through her professional channels, send an email, because I want to honor the difference between friendship and direct contact. And no, let me go through the business channel, and just said, hey, I couldn't figure out a way to get the link for today that I signed up. No worries, I'll catch it on the replay, but for next month, if I'm available to attend, right, then I have the appropriate link. But don't force it, is what I'm saying. Because then I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to pivot and do what I've been wanting to do, which is a reading for those of you that may feel called to have one. So pay attention to when these interesting things happen with technology. And part of that too, sometimes there's other energies that want to interfere with that divine union of souls. Because when those souls come together, it's a lot of power and it amplifies. And it could be multiple souls coming together, right? It's not just two in collaboration, right? When I have attended Peace World Congress on Illumination this past year, and I've gone the past few years, and this year was the last one. It was 500 plus people, 500 in attendance, and then many, many attended online virtually. That's a lot of soul energy coming together. That's a lot of soul families meeting up also within the gathering itself. And looking back at what led me there was many events that led me there, and each other person had their own things like that too. That energy kept building and building and building right in that moment to bring in that portal of light together. And then others kept, then there was the other peace stuff in Tokyo and other musicians coming together. But you connect to these things as soul family, as one light, as one consciousness. And then you bring that light back into your life. Some of you stay connected, some of you don't, meaning in your day-to-day human life. But when you come together in purity, being all you can be in those moments, and you seize the opportunity to bring peace and light and love into your life, you also bring forth healing, not just for you, not just for your body, but the planet and the universe. Coming back to health and healing, as you tune into your divine blueprint, and this is where connecting with your 12D shield, your pillar of light, is vital. It's a foundational core piece to your light body and connecting to your divine blueprint. Your telepathic communication is amplified. Okay. So my own experience with this is becoming faster and faster, even while having dinner. I couldn't remember someone's name, and then all of a sudden I did. She's like, oh, yep, that popped it right in. Right. That was my friend's right. Popped it right in. And it's true, because she remembered, she was saying it in her mind's eye, and then it came out my mouth. And I had this other experience. I was getting ready for a client. It was a couples massage. Some other person wanted to come into the room and she has unaware of her lack of boundary while the other therapist and I were setting up. And in my mind's eye, I just said, it's time for you to go. We're setting up. And within seconds, within like 2 seconds, she's like, oh, I'll let you guys set up. I'm going to go. Because she heard it. Even if she was unaware that she heard it. This is how we're communicating more and more. And this is how we've always communicated. We just sometimes didn't recognize it. So you see this third party. You might hear Gus in the background. I'm going to pull this card, the book on this card, to read it because there's something else in here that I don't think I can articulate as well as the book can. I'm hearing like, yes, you can, you're fine, but I'm going to yield to the book here. This whole image is exactly what so many of us are going through. I'm going to hold it up a little longer because your integration of your divine blueprint, it's really powerful. And the access points, right? So the vertical and horizontal rods. Okay, it's card number 14 for those of you that want to look up numerology, you can. Tuning into your divine blueprint. In the golden future, people will be able to maintain perfect health. Everyone will take responsibility for their mental, emotional, and physical welfare using herbs, good organic food, pure water, exercise, and positivity to keep their bodies flowering with vitality. It's fun that they mention herbs because I've been shuffling the Herbal Astrologer Oracle deck, which we will pull a card from in a moment. Hospitals will not be needed. Here, healers will use sound, light, and divine energy to balance the chakras of those who need to be brought into equilibrium. That's fun because I love doing work like that. And I know other people that do work like that. And it's so fun. By raising the consciousness of their patients, okay? By raising the consciousness of their patients, the healers will raise them above the frequency of their conditions. Okay? That will change you on a molecular and cellular level. So that energy that's being raised within you, the illness or discord, it goes away. It can't survive in that. Okay. By raising the consciousness of their patients, the healers will raise them above the frequency of their conditions and bring them into the light of their fifth dimensional health blueprint. And I'd like to add fifth dimensional or above, because depending on where you are at within that time frame of healing, you might be at a higher level of consciousness within the body. Laser lights will be used to knit bones and even heal spinal fractures. Yeah. And you can even imagine the laser lights going from your fingers, holding that there. And imagine what color you need. Even my mother used to do this in her own intuition, and she'd imagine light running through, and she'd take her fingers and run it through her body. And I do believe that supported her wellness through all the conditions she went through. Laser lights will be used to knit bones and even heal spinal fractures. Spinal fractures, that's cool. Think about all the electrical, it's a major gateway of our nervous system, electrical conduit, right? Spinal fluid, impulses. Laser lights. Okay, groups of highly trained healers will be able to focus intention and thought to enable all conditions to be repaired. That is beautiful. I love it. Perfect health and vitality are programmed into your fifth dimensional divine blueprint. You're already programmed for that. Okay. Some of you may notice as you've gone through this journey that you stay healthy. And if you're around stuff that isn't, like, you're like, oh my God, I can feel that. It's making me sick. Like, right? Guidance here for those of you, for all of us. Choosing this card suggests it's time for you to take full responsibility for your health. and to bring yourself into alignment with your fifth dimensional health blueprint, and or train to become a healer to help others. Tune into Lady Nada. Oh my God, I knew that was her. That is who is there. She's the divine complement to Sananda, Ascended Master Healers. Okay, Lady Nada. Oh, she has such beautiful energy. Here it goes, the twin flame of Jesus, who is spreading cosmic love in the universe and overseeing the return of natural healing methods and the wisdom used in ancient times. Ask her that what you need to do in order to bring yourself into perfect balance and health. And remember, we're talking about the Libra, the balance and health, the balance and harmony within your body, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Okay. She will inspire you, Lady Nada, will inspire you to do what is needed to fulfill this destiny and will assist you in developing your intuition and wisdom as well as your healing abilities. All of you are healers in your own way. We're all remembering. Okay, that's what some of this is. Look at the information she's connecting at the third eye level, at God's eye, all of that. Source, one source we're all connected to, because you're not different from Lady Nada. You too were once ascended and are ascending in your body to bring full healing and resurrection to your divine blueprint. That's the resurrection flame. It's golden purple. You can even say, create a mantra, I am the resurrection and the life of my divine blueprint, and say it in multiples of 3. I would say it because it's a 12D blueprint. I would say it 12 times is one cycle of saying that decree. Because remember, the 7 activities of creation is momentum, rhythm, holding the divine pattern, holding it with peace, constancy, and focus. For you to create your divine blueprint, use those 7 activities of creation. You to create and build your pillar of light, same thing, consistency, constancy, holding the divine blueprint of your core fields, because you are building your light body, your crystalline body. Okay. So let's see what the Herbal Oracle deck would like to support us with. I don't know how much we've been. Maybe an hour and a half. Just we'll see one card. We'll see one card, please. That gives us 2 beautiful cards. We have, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's card number 11, which I love that. So we're coming into the 1111 portal. Gateway. Gateways open. It just reminds me of open gateways at times now. Step through. It's a master number. There's more to that number I won't go into today. You're welcome to look it up yourself or share your guidance in the comments. Damiana, the beloved. And what do we have here? The crystalline light body, right? That divine, there's the divine, the divine union of your light body. Okay. It's a union of yourself. And then we also have your blueprint here again. These are all divine blueprints of yourself, your masculine and feminine energies, your divinity. But in that, you're also calling forth your divine complements. And I say it plural because we can have many divine complements and those that we just hold dear. And there may be that one that is solely beloved, maybe walks this earth, maybe doesn't. So be open to recognizing your soul is eternal. It does not die. You are eternal. You do not die. And now it's time to remember and hold the memory. No more of being wiped out. No more of forgetting. Even the way we understand incarnation is totally going to change. It's because we're eternal. It doesn't. We don't need to reincarnate in the way that we have been taught. I'll say about what that is and was, because we're moving off that karmic wheel into the spiral of ascension. Okay, within the body, and it's infinite. And as you go up the spiral, it winds, it opens up, and it moves faster and slower. You go up and down. But it's infinite. You are infinite. So just be here now. Right where you are now is the perfect place to be. And then we had chamomile, inner peace, which this card came up upside down. And I believe these decks have a reverse aspect. So the beloved at inner peace. Oh, the inner peace. So we'll read these for us. And that's card number 9 and 11. Wow. Don't want to skip over those at all. Because even in that numbers of 3, 6, 9, 12, that's an evolution too in our integration of our higher self, like our Christed self and our I am presence monadic. So lower frequencies at 3, and then you move into the 6 and the Christ consciousness energies into the 9, and your 12 and your divine, your I am presence into the 12. So it's an integration. So there's a reason why people say decrees and mantras in a certain number, 3, 6, 9, right? It's multiplying. It's moving you into their transformational, transfiguring numbers of pattern. It's ascension. So that's where I suggested, if you're going to do your decrees, begin to go into the 12. So moving from 3, 6, 9 into 12. But of course, follow your own intuition. These are just suggestions in the way that I feel it's coming through. Be mindful of trying to get to the end, to the higher frequency too fast. Your body, your being, your soul is going to stop you, because you can't, for your own good, right? Because your body must be prepared to receive higher forms of light. So just be right where you are as you breathe, and allow the appropriate amount of light and frequency to come in to your body that matches you perfectly in this moment. You don't have to effort it. You don't have to be where I am. You don't have to be where your brother is. You don't have to be where your best friend is. You just get to be right where you are. Right where you are, and it's the perfect place to be in this present moment of now. And you're perfect. You're perfect, even in the mess of it all. Because it just appears messy, but your essence is so divine and beautiful and golden. So the number 9, chamomile, in this beautiful herbal astrologer oracle deck that my dear friend Claire gave me. Inner peace. Some of you may be struggling with some inner peace right now, and that's okay. You're changing. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. It can shake us to our core. Upright. Yeah, this does have it reversed. So I'll read both because it may be supportive to you. I know it's supportive to me to read both sides of the upright and reversed aspect. So chamomile, inner peace. Matricaria, chamomilla, Camilla. That's probably the scientific name that I just pronounced really poorly. Upright, it means peace, restoration, softness, purity, and gracefulness. Power, inner peace, delight, and harmony. Reversed, disharmony, emotional distress, excess, worry, exhaustion, anxiety. That's kind of what I was talking about before earlier, where I was feeling like all this self-doubt coming up and probably a touch of anxiety, right? But it meaning like there was something discordant that I was feeling and it didn't make sense to me, right? And worry. Yeah, I was worried. Okay, so let go. Let go and just be right where you are, and just remember to feel it. It's not to run away from it. It's just information. Do not run away from the feelings. Allow yourself just to sit with it and observe and recognize that you are not your feelings, you are not your emotions, you are not the body. The body holds the consciousness that is you. Astrological ruler is the moon and sun. The word chamomile is derived from the Greek camomelia, meaning ground apple. Oh, ground apple. And in Ayurvedic traditions, apple is considered one of the highest vibrational fruits. In Spain, it has been called manzanilla, a little apple. For hundreds of years, a reference to the plant's refreshing, crisp, apple-like aroma, chamomile flowers are traditionally used in teas, tinctures, and formulas to treat anxiety, insomnia, depression, digestive upset, used as an antiseptic, and more. And think about chamomile tea. Many of us take it, have a cup of tea before going to bed, right? It's relaxing. So maybe some of you, maybe even myself, have a cup of tea today and relax into my body, into my spirit. Chamomile was regarded as sacred in ancient Egypt and commonly burned as incense and the offering to the sun god Ra. Ancient Romans and Greeks valued chamomile for its medicinal properties and used it as a healing beverage and to soothe skin conditions. During the Middle Ages, European doctors frequently prescribed chamomile syrups and ointments to treat various ailments, and it was used as a bittering agent in beer. Vikings regarded chamomile as one of the 9 sacred herbs and used it to soothe digestion and as a rinse for their hair to give their braids strength and shine. Although chamomile embodies the shining sun and its medicinal qualities are also aligned to the archetype of the moon. The moon rules the gastrointestinal system. So those of you having digestive issues, maybe visit this. That's also can be related to tension, anxiety, holding on. What are you not digesting in your own life? Maybe take a look, relax. Okay. I know certain, like I'm a Virgo, and most Virgos I've come across, they tend to have digestive issues. But nothing is absolute. I don't find anything to be absolute. It's really, if I want to continue that belief, I can. I don't care to. I'll just be like, oh, I just need to adjust some diets when I'm having some digestive issues and pay attention to where my emotional state is. That it's all information. If you look at everything as information versus that's absolute, it's just information for you to make adjustments to your body, for your body. Okay, so this is that other act and level of surrender I was talking about. To surrender so you can shift your life, right? But also bring healing to your body, and you're harmonizing your body, your light body, by letting go and surrendering to the process of energy that is you, the pure energy that is you. And then recognizing anytime you have contraction or your body's out of harmony, you have the power to bring yourself back into alignment. No one else has the power to do that. That being said, you may seek out different supports like herbs or allopathic medicine or different foods or a combination thereof. I am someone that I like a combination of. Everything has its place, but must also be used in harmony, because I've also witnessed people misuse herbs for different things as well, and that can damage the body as well when you're not in harmony with it. Think of everything as an ally, but when you're not using it in an integrous way, it becomes a like a nemesis to you, right? It becomes a shadow. Um, when you're in balance and harmony within yourself and with the energies in which you approach things and do things from that highest place of love and what's going to serve your body the best, and be in alignment through your heart, it'll make a difference as you engage with your healing choices, with your eating choices, with solution-oriented things. However you walk through this life, it can be any choice, really. It could be work. It could be. It's not. This too goes beyond just everything impacts our health. So it just recognizes it's all interrelated. So how you do one thing is how you do everything, as some of you may be familiar with that saying. So just as much as, like, I'll simplify it. Do you make your bed with love and care, or do you just throw the sheets down and throw the pillows like in haste and not really care? It matters how you do it. You can tell when someone takes care to make the bed and fold and everything's just so. Now, I'm not saying be totally anal and you can't have a spilt milk. I'm just saying do it with care. So even if you spill the milk, pick it up with care and love and go, oops, I spilled the milk, versus being angry about spilling the milk. It's okay. Okay. So the guidance here, or on a soul level, on a soul level, chamomile flowers assist us in releasing stored emotional tension from our stomach, nervous system, and solar plexus. This is fantastic. So I was having stomach stuff and nervous stuff in the solar plexus before coming on. So it's very interesting, at least for me, what information from the body was happening. Yeah, chamomile deeply nurtures our emotional landscape. Beautiful. It's able to soothe emotional distress and psychic stressors. Okay. Psychic stressors. Guidance here. If you find yourself often triggered and consumed by small stresses, be aware that they accumulate, creating a chronic state of disharmony and fear. Chamomile today is reminding you to not project your fears onto life and others. Allow yourself a state of internal peace, and give yourself the greatest love imagined. Give yourself the greatest love imagined. Chamomile, like deer energy, instills and contained center of innocence, warmth, light within you. Deer blesses us with the power of gentleness to heal our wounds. And we'll see that there's the deer energy in this beautiful card. And you're there among the chamomile. The earth is supporting you, right? The earth gives us everything we need. Healing your wounds with such a gentle love. The deer blesses us with the power and gentleness to heal our wounds. So you heal your wounds, and we heal our wounds together. And the heart mind of the wounded beings. Don't push hard to do the work. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Do not push hard to do the work. You don't have to do anything hard. Hit your easy button, as a former mentor of mine would say. It's the gentleness of spirit that heals all. The gentleness of spirit that heals all. And I'm sure some of you have people in your life or have witnessed someone that just has a gentleness about them, that it just waves over you, where you just want to be in that energy again and again. So if someone else can hold that, that means you too can hold that energy for yourself. So call on Lady Nada to assist you with that energy. Call on her, because she will assist you in bringing that gentle energy of love and healing in. It's a beautiful thing as you are coming into balance and harmony with your divine blueprints, your masculine and feminine energies, your avatar self. So now on to the beloved, number 11, another master number. Damiana. Trinetta diffusia. Upright, it means magnetism. Of course it does. Of course it does. I've been experiencing magnetism for a few months with another beloved, like soul beloved. Okay. Um, Kindred spirits, absolutely. Magnetism, attraction, kindred spirits, soulmates. What did I talk about toward the beginning? That more people are going to attract self soulmates. Okay, soul family, brothers, sisters, relationships, intimacy, sacred play, finding the beloved within. Because this, your divine blueprint, is the beloved within. It's your divine union of self. As you do that, you magnetize. Your energy becomes magnetized. People see you, they get drawn to you. You attract other souls that are in a similar vibration. You just light up. And there's like this magnetism that happens when someone holds a higher level of frequency constantly. It is magnetic. It is magnetic, and it can be confusing in the beginning, where I had to sit with, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's like, oh, she's like, ah, and she recognized the magnetism that I was experiencing with another person. And it's a beautiful thing because, and she reminded me, she's like, no, just enjoy the energy, enjoy being in the magnetic energy, but allow yourself to breathe into it and just not read into anything of it, right? Not all energetic magnetism is meant to be romantic in nature. Okay. But we can still be highly intimate, meaning in conversation and sharings, in the way you collaborate. Because creation energy is very intimate. Your heart and soul goes into creating. That's a very intimate relationship, right? Think about people that are in the arts and they spend a lot of time together, and you notice they have a lot of romantic relationships. I would describe it as an unelevated sacral chakra, meaning it's not rooted in, it's not really necessary. They didn't realize it was a creation energy, not necessarily a heart energy within the sacral, meaning elevated, meaning they weren't connecting through their roots, through the earth star, meaning they were connecting horizontally, that physical desire of sex, right? Because creation energy is a sexual energy as well. It's very sensual, it can be, right? But that doesn't mean, you have to ask yourself, wait a minute, when I let that calm down, is the person in front of me who I know them to be, when I let the light kind of calm down a little bit, is that someone I actually want to share my physical body with, and that level of connection? Or is it appropriate? Right? So you got to ask yourself that question, but have the mastery to be able to go recognize, oh, I'm being very magnetized with this person. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman at all. It has nothing to do with their actual physical sex of their body and gender. It's a magnetism, it's an energy. And so my friends just reminded me, she's like, just enjoy the energy and the creation energy that it's giving you, because it's given me almost like being around a muse, right? Which oftentimes I experience that with other people, and they get creative and they go off and do their creation. So I feel very blessed to be around someone that, oh wow, it's motivating me to do to work in the way I'd like to do, to create in the way I'd like to create, because I'm in the creation energy. Now I know what that feels like in collaborating with someone and a group of people, and you're in this collective creative energy that's highly magnetic. Okay, so sometimes you got to slow down and breathe and recognize, where are you at within your own body, and that it's a new feeling. It's energy that moves very fast. But if you are aware of it and you kind of slow yourself down and allow your relationship space to develop into long-term friendships, into long-term relationships. Now, not every relationship's meant to last forever, but imagine if you become more masterful in how you relate to these energies, that you'll have longer lasting ones. without getting into people's personal life where it can get muddied up, right? You're learning not to insert yourself into someone else's field. You stay in your vertical, in your sovereignty. While yes, you're still giving and receiving, but you're in your sovereignty, your purity. You don't leave your energy in another person. You don't purposely insert it into another person, your energy. You keep your cords within yourself. So you come together to create, and then you let go and surrender. And you call your energy back. And you release theirs. And it returns to them. So back onto this, okay? Reversed. And remember, you're being the beloved within, okay? How are you intimate with yourself? Okay. Reverse, it means lust, lack of love, feeling unloved, separation, projecting, unavailability, uninterested, unsatisfied, rigidity. The astrological ruler is Venus and Pluto, which makes sense. Venus is very that love frequency. This card was right side up in the affirmative, which the camel wheel was reversed. So putting those two cards together, some of you may be feeling the anxiety and bring up worry of your divine union within yourself. So higher frequency energy sometimes can come in and create anxiousness, create question, create worry. And then imagine if you're around other person in their light body that's just as holding just as high a frequency, it can have the potential to be like, "Ooh, what's happening here?" Right? And but just know you're okay. Come back to your innocence. Come back to your purity. Just turn this right side up somehow through laughter, through play, through the childlike, the new children, right? That just be all you can be, right? Just be your light, and just know you don't have to make everything into, well, what is this or what is that? Just be in the moment and enjoy, even if you only see that person once, and go, I just enjoyed a fabulous lunch or a walk and whatnot. Just be in the now, right? Because when we go into, oh, what if this, what if that, you're not present. You're not even in your body. You're in all the what ifs that truly just don't matter, right? They just truly don't matter. It separates you. It fragments you when you go into the what ifs, or I should have done this and this. And that's a little bit of that energy I was experiencing earlier since yesterday and into today. And I'm like, whoa, no, let that go. No, that's totally piercing the beautiful experiences I've had with many people over the past, not just the past 10 days, but in my travels, but also the past year and 2 years in my life. Like, just be present. Don't hold the past in you anymore. Hold the wisdom of your experience in you, but let go and surrender to the to what's new for you, to your divinity. Because you can't fully embody your divinity by holding on to the past. Remember, as you do this, you're clearing the pathway, both past, present, future, in this eternal moment of now. So it almost like does like a brain sweep, a memory sweep in your cellular body, right? Your cellular body is not going to remember all that stuff. And you kind of show up again and again as a new being every time you see something or someone. It's very interesting. So it's a Damanya is a native. It reminds me of saying Diana, that energy of Diana. It's a native to Central and South America, and its use dates back to the ancient Maya and Aztecs. So think about that as we're reading, like the where these plants come from, what part of the land and world you're connecting with. And traditionally, Damiana is a rejuvenating plant. This is interesting, rejuvenating, right? We're working with the resurrection flame of your divine blueprint. You're resurrecting your divinity. It's integrating into your body. Okay. Rejuvenation, your cellular makeup, your molecular, the unlocking of your DNA, because you're now hold the vibrational key frequency, light key, to have that open, the more you are in alignment, the more you connect. Okay. This is exciting for me. So it's a rejuvenating plant said to restore sexual vitality and strengthen reproductive system, as well as commonly used for depression and anxiety. This is beautiful. So taking not just the physical piece of the reproductive system, creation energy is the male gender principle, universal law. You need the masculine and feminine energies. You need the creative side of your brain and the logical side of your brain, the hemispheres. They work together. It's complementary. We're all coming into balance on harmonics within ourselves, not just in the way we do things, but also this inner ascension. It all happens together, it all working together. So the old way of doing things that all of us have been so accustomed to doing and recognizing, like, I don't want to live this way anymore, it's directly related to your divine union, to your beloved union within the self and with all of humanity and within the planet and universe. So that way Earth can take her rightful place in the celestial realm, elevating, ascension, ascending. So those of you on the ascension path, self-mastery, soul awakening, integration of your higher self, it does it can shake you to your core, because everything, and we're in this fall season, everything being shooken off the leaves, so rejuvenation can occur. So you can step in to this next stage of your life. You can jump shift your life. You got to let go. You got to surrender. And then the depression and anxiety can take on a different form. Okay, you can come back into harmonics. Okay, come back into your creation energy. It strengthens. It strengthens your vitality. The more you connect with your light body and breathe in and get into that 0 point field, that center of all union, it's a beautiful place to be. It's like a very liminal place to be. In a classic love portion found among the Maya and several indigenous peoples in Mexico, fresh juice is made from leaves and flowers of the damania. Damiana. Okay. Ternera diffusa. Turnera. Diffusa. Okay. For those of you that want to look up the plant. It was sweetened with sugarcane. Mayan ceremonial drinks used in religious rites often involved this plant, or cacao. Cacao is very heart-centered, very divine feminine energy. So we can bring us back into Lady Nada. Lady Nada is really assisting us with this divine energy coming in, the divine feminine energy. Okay. In every person, men and women. The Mayan also chewed the leaves or used them as a poultice and even as a smoke for relaxation and lung cleansing. The word for Damiana literally meant asthma broom, so it may support some of you. Maybe look that up. Maybe go find an herbalist near you. Those of you that are having lung and respiratory issues right now. It is the season, and we're also energetically focusing on clearing the lungs. Think about what the lungs are connected to, right? It's a very purifying thing as well. Oxygen flow. Just look up the pulmonary system of the body and heart. Some of you may be experiencing grief, so and emotional things. Asthma can be very tied into emotional traumas when we were in our youth, and impact us in our relationships, right? So pay attention to that if you're experiencing some other things and need support coming into harmony and letting go and clearing some of your past that's living in you in a certain way. But it's also very connected to the energetics of clearing the lungs, calming the nervous system, and this expansion of the third eye, as well as the heart chakra. the etheric heart chakra really coming into the physical body, that connection even more. So, but you know your body, you know your intuition, and do what's right for you, always. Okay. In folk medicine throughout the Americas, Damiana, excuse me for mispronouncing this herb, has been identified as an aphrodisiac, antidepressant, tonic, diuretic, and cough suppressant. It was also used to treat menstrual irregularities and cramps, constipation, asthma, bronchitis, headaches, stomach aches, gastric ulcers, performance anxiety, and more. Like Damiana, Venus, the planet of beauty and art, is said to rule the metamorphosis of cells, their reproduction, enrichment, and transformation, as well as preservation of the body, the reproductive system, and the harmony between all systems of the body. What do we start off today? We're talking about harmony. All this is harmony and balance of your divine union, of your divinity in the body. So as we got really blessed with both these herbs today, and Venus, being connected to Venus, Nada is also connected to Venus, and that love energy, that so many of us are learning more and more about what this love energy really is and what love is, and that frequency and that vibration of it, because it takes on so many different shapes and forms. And it's not always kind, as some people want to just say it has to be one way. When you're evolving and setting new boundaries, it's okay to be firm. It's okay. You're doing it for love of yourself too, but also own, like, but not doing it from a place to harm another. Okay. But you'll find and stumble along or not in your own way. So the guidance here is represents the universal principle of the beloved within relationships and within ourselves. The alchemy of polarity is what we're made of. The alchemy of polarity. But we're also moving into neutrality, where we're depolarizing everything and going into oneness. So recognize that. Okay? That it's all one. 0 point field, 0 point is neutralizing. There's no polarity in the 0 point. And that's a huge ability of alchemy right there. Yeah, yep. Perfect. Exactly what I was going to say. It's the integration of opposites. Is that which births the beloved, because that is what you're doing. You are integrating all of you. You're integrating these complementary energies, the masculine and feminine within yourself. You're integrating it into oneness, into your beloved being of presence. This card represents the journey of coming together and reuniting within oneself, a lover, a friend, a family member, or any important person in your life. You are in important period of making choices and establishing healthy boundaries, especially with those you'd like to deepen and expand, or those that you feel the need to shed or distance yourself from. And I've just recently experienced both of those. One person, literally before my trip, I'm this clear boundary and I decided, nope, shedding it. The other person, just giving it space, because I do, and I feel that we both want to cultivate a deeper friendship over time. So as those of you meeting more soul family, give it space, because you are coming into your own divinity as he or she in his own. You gotta give it space to get to know the person and not be in a hurry. Just give it space and surrender it. Be like, oh, yes, I see it. And then, okay, let it go and just be right where you are. Just be right where you are. Go do your work. Let that other person or persons do their work. And you come together when it's right. And you'll both know in your own divine time, like, oh, it's time to get together again. Because I had a friend recently going, oh, are you getting together again? This and that. And it's just like, why are you even going there? It's in such an old way of thinking. I'm all, no, I'm doing my work here. Well, I'll see my friend later. We're busy. Just like any of other my friends. I see them when I see them. Right? I can't go years without seeing my friends. Because we're doing our own work. It doesn't change our dynamic any. We pick up right where we left off. So let yourself pick up right where you left off. Get out, let yourself be free of the construct of time. When you're in the eternal moment of now, time has a very different feel to it. What you're moving away from. Just like I totally time jumped and it was like I was gone for 2 months, and in this human world, it was 10 days. And some of you may be experiencing that kind of time jumping a bit. And it's like long and short and long and skips, and it's very interesting. It's the healthy boundaries within yourself too, to be able to speak to that. Sometimes it's silently, sometimes it's out loud. Sometimes you got to just know your audience, because there's some people you can't speak boundaries. They're going to twist it round and round, and that just like, nope. Especially if I'll say they operate from a lower vibrational state, or maybe some what we've grown to call narcissistic tendencies. um just keep those boundaries close to your heart and do what you need to do, right? So you just don't give it time, right? And because that will suck your energy. It will really kind of suck at your energy trying to navigate that behavior. um and I know for one, I just really have a short bandwidth for that now. But there's also boundaries too when you want to see each other all the time or connect. It's like, you don't have to force it. Just give it space, let it breathe, let the fire breathe, right? Um, Especially with the divine complement energies. You gotta, fire needs air. Don't smother it. A little bit of kindling. You don't want it to go to flare up too much. It's just you want to keep it at a nice warm temperature. Maybe you throw a log onto it here or there just to keep that fire going. That feels good, right? It's a dance. It's a dance within yourself too. Okay. Those of you that are fire tenders know exactly what I mean. If we're going to use a symbolism of tending to a fire, tend to the fire within yourself as well as in your relationships. Right? Too much emotion puts it out, right? Too much water, too much air does the same thing. So Demanya reminds us of the importance of shaking off rigidity that often depletes creative reserves and sacred play. If you feel unsatisfied and emotionally unavailable, even to those whom you love, take the time to be in solitude and nourish your creative centers. Often separation becomes the basis to reunite once again in higher frequency. True self-love is the key to lasting relationships with others, and most importantly, with yourself. So I will leave you with that. Much love to all of you. This is much longer than I anticipated. So enjoy whatever insights has come through for you with the chamomile. Those were our 9 and 11 cards. Your light body, your divine union, the child in you, and also the new children as you jump into this next phase of life. And yeah, hold the light within you and this divine union, because I'm like getting excited on what is coming and here for us, for you, for myself. As we're in the final throes of 2024, right? In about what, 9 weeks or so. Much love to all of you. Remember to like and share this if you feel you got some value out of it, so others can also enjoy some insights I hope I've provided. Much love to all of you on your organic soul awakening. I'm Gina Libido, Soul Inspired Reflections, and I'll see you soon.